So hi guys, welcome back, and hopefully we finished the lesson 3 last class, right? In the last class we finished the lesson 3, and so today what we'll be saying is actually les contraires, the opposites of lesson 1, 2 and 3. So we don't have much, okay, so we don't have much, and we don't have it in our book itself, so like we had in the previous years, okay. So in 7th standard and 8th standard we used to have a separate page for the opposites, right? So in 9th standard and 10th standard we won't be having anything separately, so you got to take notes of the opposites, and so we don't have much, so don't worry. So in lesson 1 we got around 12 or something, okay, and lesson 1 and 2 we don't have much, so we got 12 together, and in lesson 3 we got 10, okay. So now we'll be saying the opposites, and so for taking notes, if you have left a page, 1 or 2 pages after each lesson, so you can write the opposites there, or if you haven't left any pages, you can write it in the last pages, okay. In the last page of the notebook you can just start writing, so you can just write, put in the lesson number and so on, and or if not you can just write separately, okay. So do not write in a messed up way, yeah. So just write this, and from lesson 4, so once we finish the lesson we'll do the opposites, okay, then we'll go that way, yeah. So thank you so much, okay. So listen properly now. So now we'll start with the contract, right, of the first 2 lessons, then we'll go for the 3rd lesson. Nouvelle, right? So nouvelle, which means new, and the opposite will be ancienne. And so careful when you're writing the opposites. So when the feminine form is given, so you got to write the feminine form of the opposite, okay. So you can't write the masculine form, you can't just write ancien, right? So nouvelle, ancienne, right? Donc par exemple c'est une nouvelle école, right? C'est une ancienne école. The second one, oui, okay. So oui, as in it's no. The opposite is no, N-O-N, right? Oui, je parle anglais. Okay, non, je ne parle pas chinois. Okay. So third one, it's bien. So bien, it's good, right? Je vais bien, right? The opposite will be mal, right? Mal, M-A-L. So j'ai mal, right? Donc c'est mal, it's bad. Jeune, okay, so jeune, which means young, right? Il est jeune, vous êtes jeune, right? And the opposite will be vieux, right? So vieux, which means old, right? Je suis vieux, right? Mes parents sont vieux. Fifth one, it's actually the verb aimer. If you see it's given in the infinitive form, so if it's given in the infinitive form, you got to find out the opposite in the infinitive form it is. So which is détester. Okay, donc par exemple, j'aime Pondichéry, je déteste Chennai, par exemple, oui. Now we got beaucoup, okay, so beaucoup, which means a lot, okay, or very much. For example, j'aime beaucoup le cinéma, right? So ample. So ample, which means a little, okay, a less, okay. Donc je parle un peu de français, or je parle un peu d'italien, right? So ample, which means little. près de. Okay, so près de, which means near to. Right? Donc, par exemple, notre école est près de l'église. Right? Notre école est près du marché. Okay, so our school is near to the market, our school is near to the church. Right? So près de, which means near to, and the opposite is loin de. So loin de, which means far from, okay, or far to. Okay, donc notre école est loin de l'hôpital Jugmer. Right? So it's far from the Jugmer hospital. Okay, so loin is far from. And here we got grande. Okay, so which is big or tall. Okay, il est grand, elle est grande. Here we have used the feminine form. So the opposite of petit will be written in the feminine form, which is petite. Right? Donc, elle est petite, elle est grande. Right? Donc, so derrière. Okay, so derrière means behind. Okay, so par exemple, le tableau est derrière moi. Right? So and devant, it's the opposite, which means before. Okay, donc mon portable est devant moi. Right? Donc devant. So joli. Okay, so joli, which means pretty. Okay, so beautiful, and the opposite will be ugly. Right? Laide. Right? It's in the feminine form. Elle est jolie, elle est laide. Right? So ici. Okay, ici, which means here. Okay, ici il y a un climatiseur, un tableau, right? Donc un ordinateur.
Je vous écoute.
So yeah, okay, ici, là. And so this is actually the last one of the first and second lesson. So it is sympathetic, right? So sympathetic, which means nice or kind, right? So the opposite can be méchant, okay? So it is bad or not nice, not kind. Or you got another word in French, you got antipathique. So antipathique you can write. So and I will give an example for là, I think. Okay, donc par exemple, mon ordinateur est là. Okay, so my computer is there. Okay, so là means there. Okay, or you can even say là-bas. Okay, BAS you can even add. If you add that or not, that's fine. Okay, là-bas means down there. Okay, so là means there. That's no big difference in it. Wait, donc sympathique, antipathique. So both masculine and feminine got the same word because it ends with e. Il est sympathique, elle est sympathique. Il est antipathique, elle est antipathique. Yeah. So you can take note. Then you go to the lesson 3. Yeah, hope you copied the lesson 1 opposites, lesson 1 and lesson 2. So now we'll move to the lesson 3 opposites. Yeah, so we just got 10 opposites in this. We don't want to repeat, so so the first one is dans. So dans, c'est une préposition. It's actually a preposition, excuse, which means in. Right? Je suis dans la salle de classe. Je suis dans ma chambre. Voilà. Dans means in, and the opposite is hors de. Oui, hors de, which means outside. Okay, hors de, or you can even say dehors. Okay, dehors means outside also. You can even place this de in French. Okay, so dehors or hors de. Yeah, both are fine. Okay, donc par exemple, ma voiture est dehors. Oui, ma voiture est hors de ma maison. Oui, donc hors de means outside. And second one is on va. Okay, là maintenant c'est un verbe conjugué. Okay, it's actually a verb conjugated. Okay, if you can see, it's actually the verb aller, which is conjugated in the form of on. Right, the subject is on. So the subject doesn't change. Okay, you just put the subject, and the opposite of the verb aller, it's actually the verb venir. Right, and you go to conjugate in this form for on. So which is vient. Right, so V-I-E-N-T, V-I-E-N-T. Right? On va, on vient. Right? Donc, so we are going, we are coming. Okay? Donc, on va à la plage. Right? Donc, on vient chez vous. Okay? So, that's it. So, the third one is cherche. So, cherche means to search, but actually here it's actually the verb which is conjugated in the first person or the third person singular, right? So you go to find the opposite. So to search, so the opposite will be to find, right? Okay, so to find it's actually the verb trouver. So if you conjugate in first person or the third person singular, so we'll be having trouve, T-R-O-U-V-E, right? Cherche, trouve, right? So, je cherche ma classe. Okay, je cherche mon salle de classe. Okay, so je trouve. So mostly the verb trouver will be used in past tense, okay, or in future tense. J'ai trouvé un travail. J'ai trouvé mon portable. I found. Okay, so voilà. So fourth one, intelligent. So intelligent, okay, so we'll write in the masculine form or the feminine form, never mind. Okay, so the opposite will be bête. Okay, so intelligent, which means intelligent, right? And so il est intelligent. Okay, so the opposite will be like bête. Okay, so can't think properly, not smart. Okay, so kind of stupid. Okay, so we say bête. So bête got two meanings. Okay, so one meaning is actually when you're referring a person, which means he's not smart enough. Okay, and so the other meaning is actually an animal. Okay, so so that means an animal, or that's why the word came from. Okay, so they don't have the understanding or the thinking sense. Okay, so they say the opposite of intelligent, it's bête. Right? So both masculine and feminine will be sharing the same word, but for intelligent, for feminine, we'll be just adding an e. Right? So the fifth one, it's travailler. So travailler, which means to work. Okay, so do not get confused. It doesn't mean to travel. Okay, so travailler means to work, and so the opposite will be to rest, right? To take rest. Se reposer. Okay, se reposer. So you can either write the se or without se. That's not a big mistake. Okay, so reposer means to rest, to take rest. Right? So it's not the verb rester. Okay, rester means to stay. So it's not rester. So travailler, par exemple, je travaille tous les jours. Right? So I work every day. Right? Je travaille tous les jours. Reposer, je me repose le week-end. Right? Qu'est-ce que vous faites le week-end? Je me repose. Okay, I take rest. Right? So intéressant. Intéressant, which means interesting. Right? Intéressant. Par exemple, ce film est intéressant. This movie is interesting. Right? Ennuyeux. Okay, so interesting. The opposite will be boring, right, in English. So in French, it's ennuyeux. Okay, ennuyeux means boring. Right? So annoying or boring, it's better. Right? Ennuyeux. So it's actually given in the masculine form. Right? So film est ennuyeux. Right? So as you saw this word in the letter, okay, gay, so which means happy, okay, cheerful or happy. Even so, in French we got more words for happy, right? Okay, so we got heureux, content, right? Ravi, and so on. So gay, it means happy, and the opposite will be triste. Okay, so triste, like right? So il est triste, elle est triste. So beau. So beau means handsome or beautiful, okay, good looking. So the opposite will be the same like we saw in the previous lesson. So which means ugly, laid. Okay, but in the previous lesson we saw joli and laid. Okay, so here we are given the masculine form, beau, and so we write the feminine, masculine form of laid, which is L-A-I-D. Okay, laid. Excusez-moi. And so ninth one is souvent. Souvent, which means often, right? Often. Je vais souvent à la plage, right? So I go often to the beach, right? So souvent, which means often, and so rarement. Okay, so rarement, which means rarely. Okay, so this is often and you go rarely, right? Okay, donc j'y vais rarement, right? So I go there rarely, right? Rarement, it's rarely. And so the last one, it's actually the verb venir. So the verb venir, which means to come, and it's given in the infinitive form, right? So venir, so the opposite same way like here, right? So we'll be writing the infinitive form of aller. So just aller, venir, aller, right? Donc vous devez venir, right? Vous devez venir à l'école, par exemple. Okay, so you must come to school. Okay, so vous devez venir. So on utilize the form infinitive. We'll be using the infinitive form if it's placed after a verb. Okay, if it's in the second position. Okay, so after the first verb is conjugated, if you're using it, so then we won't be conjugating. We'll be using the infinitive form. Okay, so same way the verb aller. Right, donc vous devez aller au cours. Okay, you must go to the class. Okay. So just repeat the opposites of all the three lessons once. Right? So we got nouvelle. Right, so nouvelle, which means new, and the opposite is ancienne. Oui, non, bien, mal, jeune, vieux, aimer, détester, beaucoup, un peu, près de, loin de, grande, petite, derrière, devant, jolie, laide, ici, là, sympathique, antipathique, dans, hors de, au dehors, on va, on vient, cherche, trouve, intelligent, bête, travailler, se reposer, intéressant, ennuyeux, gai, triste, beau, laid, souvent, rarement, venir, and aller. So maybe if you got a test, even this side will be asked, you'll be asked to write this side. Okay, so get ready with in both cases. Okay, so merci beaucoup. On continue.